In this video, I'm going to be showing you my start to finish Hydrodip process and take these valve covers from this to this. I'm a glorified appliance trash manager. It's to make myself look busy. Okay, ladies and dudes, ready to have some Hydrodip and fun. We got all sorts of K series. We got 1, 2, both with bungs. This one, I don't know what it looks like yet because it was shipped to us from Tejas, El Paso, Texas. So we are going to do black carbon fiber on that one, red carbon fiber on this one. This one is going to be red. The graphic is called Gold Diggers. It is a bunch of attractive cartoon women with money. So should look pretty cool. Nice little variety this time. This dang box open. I do love it when they package these this well. That is a ton of bubble wrap. Good for him. Cool. So I'm gonna open that up. We're gonna get to prepping all of them. Same process as always. We're gonna prep these, clean them, degrease them, put them in the oven, bake any oil that I didn't catch off. Then we're gonna do the epoxy primer that you've seen on the Jeep stuff. Then we're gonna do the color on each of them, dip all 3 of them, clear all 3 of them. Let that one, we're gonna let this one dry for probably about 4 days before we ship it back, just to make sure the clear is really hard, because I have made the mistake of shipping it too early and the bubble wrap actually took some of the clear off. So learn that the hard way, so we're gonna let that one sit for a while. These, customer can pick them up basically the day after that I clear them. They should be hard enough to handle, and then I just tell them wait, 2 or 3 days before they actually put it on the car. So that's what we're doing. That's where we're at. We're gonna get started. They are all prepped, cleaned, baked. All the oil should be off of them, all rinsed off. Everything is looking pretty good. So for those of you who are new, we use a epoxy primer, which I ran out of because we used it on El Javette. So got some more in here. I'll open this up. We're gonna mix it. This is a Tamco product. I have nothing bad to say about this paint whatsoever. It is fantastic stuff. So check them out if you are interested. So I'll get this opened up and I'll show you what we got. What it looks like, I know, crazy, right? Primer. So this is a 1-to-1 mix ratio. This is the hardener. I put this on really thin. They're almost easier to run than clear coat. So I just almost like dust this on, do like 3 coats. First one I really dust, and then the second 2 I go a little heavy, but still pretty light coats. To show you how strong this is, I did go-kart wheels for a guy and dipped them and all that, and his son hit another dude's wheel and they rubbed off. It took the clear, the graphic, the paint off of the wheel, clean off, and this primer looked untouched. This is serious stuff. So if you guys are interested, check it out. This is, it's just fantastic stuff. They call it direct to anything primer. You have a 7-day window to top coat without sanding it. It's fantastic stuff. For our gun, we are going to use a Harbor Freight gun because they spray primer well. For clear, as I've been over, I have a DeVille Bliss, a little bit fancier. But this sprays primer quite well while they're new-ish. So that's what we're using. All right, got those primed, look good, everything laid well, no runs that I can see yet. A little bit of dust on actually all of them, shocking, I know. So I'll, even though you don't need to wet sand them, I'm gonna wet sand them real light tomorrow before we throw the color on, just get them nice and clean and smooth again. So now I get to do the nightly ritual of no paint booth, no shop, rearrange-o, schmange-o, make some room for the stuff that's outside. I got Jeep hood, 2 Jeep doors, Jeep grill, a Honda Civic, and a Volkswagen Bug MR2 Honda swap thing that all have to fit in this mess of a little tiny shop. So I'm gonna do that, and then we'll come back tomorrow, hit those, and get them all dipped. So I'm supposed to be cleaning up, right? But I forgot this piece. Refill it, remix some primer, and shoot this right quick like, because I'm a dummy. Oh, frickin' dokey. Got everything covered well. Nothing fancy to see here. This is all VHT spray paint. That stuff there. This is what I always use on valve covers. Works good, no complaints, no nothing. So that's what I use because it works. So that's good. Probably got another 20 minutes or so on that before it's safe to dip. So I'm going to cut some film. This is a very colorful film. I like how she practically is naked, but there are no nipples, so it makes it appropriate, I guess. I don't know. There's a lot going on here. Lots of, oh, that's a tattoo of a girl on a girl. Look at that. Whoa. Okay, so this is what's going on the red valve cover. Both of these are going on the blacks, obviously, and then one of these, after it's dipped, we're gonna tint it red. So I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna do this and the spark plug cover separately, just so the graphic lays really good on both of them. I'm just gonna try and line them up so they're both dipped the same direction, and we'll see how they turn out. All right, tank's filled up. Feels to temperature to me. So for this, sorry, the heater's on, so it's a little loud. So this graphic is from a website called Atlantic Hydro, and my carbon fiber is from a different supplier. So these two, I've never tried my carbon with the same activator I use on here, and I'm not gonna start now. The activator for this is specific to this brand, so I'm just gonna keep doing it the way I'm doing it. So for this, we use an activator called Hydrovator, and then for the carbon, we use the company's activator. So that's what we're gonna do. So this turned out great all the way around. These look great on top. The problem lies right there, and right there, and right here, and right there. So I dipped this one first, and I got that to do what it did there, but it seems like the second one on both, for some reason that one got really choppy. So anyways, did that, saw the mistake, thought, okay, I'm gonna try to dip it a little bit differently. And so on this one, I went super, super slow around the bungs to try and get it to just wrap around basically. And then worst case scenario, there'd just be like a line for a minute. But what happened was the graphic just, when it went around this, it just kind of just pushed the graphic away, and that's how that happened. On a GSR valve cover that has bungs, there's only, the bung will sit here, sorry, the bung will sit there, and then there's only, that much below it. So if that happens, it happens right here, and you never see it. So that's never been a problem, but I've never done a K-series with bungs. And turns out you can't, you probably could, but it's no matter what. I mean, you're always gonna get something like that where it's really distorted. So called the guy, told him what's going on, sent him pictures, and I think what we're gonna do, this is the cleanest way I can think to fix this. Because obviously if I tried a different method the second round, stripping these down and doing them again, I don't think I'm gonna get a much better result. So what we're gonna do is this, where the dipstick goes, that line right there, I'm gonna follow that all the way down. It's gonna be about right in between the bung, sorry, super shaky. Right in between the bung here, and then just carry that to about here on this line, go down, and then we're just gonna spray that front black. Every other part of it turned out good. All the lines flow together, everything's relatively straight. But it's just, and I was thinking about, you know, just trying to tape off a section and doing it black, but then it's gonna look, I think if we do the whole thing, it's gonna look like we meant to do it. If we do just little strips to hide the mistake, then I don't think it's gonna look good. If these were directly below the bungs and I could literally tape off just a stripe basically that was centered with this, I think that'd look okay. But because they all kind of go off to the side, I think that'll look bad. So like I said, not trying to make excuses. I just don't know if, I just can't see a way of preventing that without starting. If we rolled the valve cover, like we started here and then rolled it through this way, that would prevent that, but then that would pop up right there. Like there's just not, on this, I just don't think there's a way to do it. So that's the plan. We're gonna let these dry overnight, sand the letters down, paint that black, let that dry for an hour or so, and then clear it, and we're done. Hello, welcome back. We're about to get to work. One thing I wanted to say real quick about the mistakes that I made on those two valve covers. That's, oddly enough, that's what I really like about operating or owning my own business, however you want to put it, is there's no one else to blame. There's no, you know, my boss did this, my coworker did this, the customer did that. It starts, the beginning, middle, and end is all me. So if it turns out great, then I pat myself on the back. If it looks like that, then I screwed up and I call the customer and I'm honest, and then I find a way to fix it. Like it's just, I like that. It keeps my integrity in check. It just keeps me working a little harder, just because if there are any mistakes, it's my fault. And I don't know why, but I really like that. I think it's helped push me a little bit. So just thought that'd be a good time to tell you. So it is a new day. We're getting to work. So I don't like that. I like this line. I think that looks good from a distance. I don't like the side lines. They don't, I think it needs to carry all the way through. So I'm gonna carry this one to the end here, make a line there. And then that one, I think I'm gonna just carry it to that corner. And just that way it there's kind of a shadow there. So I think, I mean, from all the angles you're gonna be hitting, I just think that's a better line. So I'm gonna do that because I think that looks unnatural, is how I would describe it. So I'm gonna re-tape it off, continue that line. Unfortunately, I already taped this one off and sprayed it, and more than likely I'm gonna do the same thing on that, unless for some reason the lines look magically better, even though they're gonna be the same. So that's the plan. I'm gonna do that, and then we'll clear them. Good, did a little bit of touch-up work on this. They're just, I don't even know where they went. I think in her hair right there. See those remaining little pinholes? There were some bigger ones, so I just kind of dabbed some black. That's looking good. Totally forgot I had to tint this, so luckily I remembered that. So she's looking good. Luckily this has to dry. The appliance business just called me. Someone's fridge died, and because of the crisis going on, and tomorrow's Saturday, I gotta go drop him off a new fridge so they don't get all their food they hoarded destroyed. So that's where I'm heading now, which will work out because this needs to dry for probably an hour to be safe before we can clear it. So I'm gonna bring everything inside and do the same thing again. Luckily it's raining out a little bit, so I'll get to get nice and wet. Oh, the Jeep doors are getting their first rain. So's the hood. You can't see all the fish eyes when it's wet. That's cool. Same with those. You can't even tell they're wobbly. Guys, this bug, even with the cage, motor, and transient, it is ridiculously light. Ignore the sound that it's about to make, because that's dragging. But it's, I mean, this is effortless to push it. It's quite wonderful, but I need this to steer. As I get fucking hit. Oop. Love that. Yeah, it's, I mean, you don't have to push hardly at all and it rolls. So, she'll be lovely one day. 42.5 minutes later. All right, friends, they turned out freaking sweet. The clear just, it laid so well. Considering it's snowing outside, it laid really well. I mean, that's as good as I could have asked for it. This thing looks absolutely ridiculous. I mean, from almost every angle, it just looks pretty sweet. And the I'll have to be super gentle here, but the front end work turned out pretty dang good. I mean, you almost can't even tell that it's there, which is great. That's about what we wanted. Same goes for that one. That one's obviously a little more apparent because it's not tinted, but still it looks like we meant to do it. And from here, which is about where you're going to be looking at both of them, I mean, you can hardly even see it's there. So that worked out really well. Hardly any dust marks. There's a couple real light ones right there, but you can only see them when you're at the right angle. This thing, I can't even tell if there are any. I'm sure there are, but looks really good. So I'm very happy with it. Everything looks wonderful. This is it's a little too much for me personally, but I really like doing graphics like this because you could tell kind of if I did a good job or not. Like that looks nice and crisp. On the back it's stretched, and that's always the thing on these K series because the back is taller. I mean, you could see some of the carbon stretch a little bit, and like you could see the orange peel on the back. It's pretty hard to get that to look glassy without running it, so I had to kind of be careful there, but you're not going to see that at all. So everything you can see looks fantastic. I'm pumped. This thing looks great too. And it's just wonderful. Cool. So that's all I got for you on that one. Let me know what you think. I guess I'm starting to kind of take Hydrodip jobs, I guess. If you guys have been here for a minute, you know my paint booth got shut down and I kind of stopped. And I'm getting better at making do. It's still a giant pain in the butt because like when I clear or do anything like this, I can't do anything on that. I can't do any work on the bug. Like it's just, I have to stick to this. So luckily it's kind of worked out with my schedule, but I did lose about 3 days of doing anything on that because I was doing this. So that's part of it. But so I guess if you guys are interested, message me on Instagram, please. That's what I check most now. It's garage_idiots. Like, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm going to be selective of my jobs, and I'm going to be, like, I'm going to charge full price. It's, like, these guys all paid full price, which is, I charge $180 for valve covers, but you saw the whole process. A lot of that price is just the prep time. It takes a long time to prep these things right. But if you guys are interested in having stuff done, I'll quote out whatever, I can give you a quote just based on pictures, but it will be full price, and I'm gonna be kind of selective. Like someone wanted me to do a whole dash, like a whole dash, and I just told them no. It's stuff like that is really hard to do anyways. Just there's a lot of contours going on. It's really hard to keep track of the graphic through all that. But valve covers I'll do all day. Interior stuff I think I'll do, but just if it's gonna be a big piece, questionably a pain in the butt, then I'm probably gonna turn it down. But stuff about this size, a little bit bigger, I'll take on. So if you guys are interested, message me on Instagram. Like I said, just because it's a pain in the butt without a booth, because this took about 3 days. So the shop was shut down for 3 days because I couldn't do anything while the paint was wet, and it took most of my day to prep all these. So it will be full price, but if you guys are interested, so those are $180 a piece. That spark plug cover I threw in for free because this guy shipped it to me from Texas, so I threw that in for free. But normally like something about that size probably be like $50 is supposed to be my minimum, but like if you did that, say that was an interior piece, like something like that would probably be about 30 to 40 bucks. Trying to think of other examples. LS intake manifolds, usually charge $250 for those because they suck to prep. It sucks to get all the grooves and get all down in there clean, so that's about $250. LS valve covers are, I think I do $220 for the set. So that'll kind of give you a rough idea. It's all based on size, and if it's weird, then I go from there. But that's all I got for you guys. Let me know what you think. Clear turned out really well for being just shooting it in the shop, so I'm happy with that. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna bust my butt over the weekend on the Jeep and try and get the rest of it painted. Not a whole lot left to do, just gotta take some, I just need a full couple days here and that thing will be looking pretty. Got some bad news about the doors that I will tell you later on. It's super late, but we'll get to that. So let me know what you think about this, and until next time, we'll see you later. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. We'll see you soon.